Welcome to Blinkers Off with your hosts, Jared Welch and Aaron Halterman.
What is up, guys? I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. It is Saturday, April 26th, and this is a special Blinkers Off because we are announcing the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby Fields. What's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Thanks already for joining us. Got a big crowd in here already, like we usually do for this show. Going to be a good one. Yeah, we're just waiting for the draw to begin. We'll let you know just as soon as they start. We'll be watching and relaying and reacting to everything that's going to happen. They're going to draw the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks, so we'll be here for both of those. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be pretty crazy. As always, the drama for the post positions for the Kentucky Derby, it's always quite entertaining. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have it all here on the screen as well. So we won't just be announcing it. We'll have everything on display here, so you guys can see the horses and what positions they're in, and obviously we'll kick things off with the Oaks, and then we'll move on to the Derby. But it's finally, like, I've talked to so many people that are like, it's finally time. I don't know why it is, for whatever reason this year it's felt like it's dragged on longer than usual. Maybe because I'm more excited for this Derby than I have in recent years. I don't know, but it just feels like this drag between the last race and this race and the Derby is just gone forever.
It has. I agree with that, actually. It just feels like, my goodness, feels like the Derby should be this weekend, kind of almost, Yeah. And it feels like with each passing day, a horse is in and a horse is out. And then on some days, they're in and out on the same day. So we haven't been for lack of news. And, I guess while we're waiting here, unfortunately, to Pan Street, a non-threatening injury or non-threatening life altering injury, but is out for the Derby, and that gets rendered judgment into the body of the field. So that's been the big news today. And then 21 right there now is going to be Baeza, unless there's something, unforeseen that we haven't heard until they're going to announce it here. So that is the big news. To Pan Street out, and boy, the Florida Derby winner not running. I think that's a big news. I mean, I think that was one of the serious contenders for this thing.
Yeah, that's the first, real big, like, I feel like big defection, and that, good. I'm glad he's okay, or going to be okay. But yeah, and then the back and forth with render judgment. Are they going to run? Are they not going to run? And, and so it's like Bieza's connections are all on the fence as well. And, so it's been, the way this whole thing has gone, I just have a belief that Bieza is going to get in. With off of the also eligible. With that said, like, and I tweeted this out earlier today as well. Like, we can't forget that. Yes, it would be so much more beneficial for him to be in now and get a good post, but now he would be forced to run. Even if he got in, he's assuming he came off the also eligible, he would be forced to run out of that 20 hole. And so that makes it all the more challenging as well. And dude, I'll tell you what, before we get into the actual post and stuff, I like this horse, but the hype on this horse has gone too far. We need to tap the brakes on this horse. This horse has ran second to a good horse and had a pretty good gallop out afterwards. That's it. That's all this horse has done. And yet it's like we're ready to just please get him in. Just please I get it, but we need to tap the brakes a little bit on him.
No, I think he's better than some horses and has a better chance than some horses. And I think that's why that's some of the reason why there's this sentiment of, oh, please get him in. He deserves to be in. But you're right. I mean, I am not ready to just put $1,000 on him, or even play him in the top spot either. So I'm with you there. Look, I think he's a nice horse. I've said all along, guys, I think Preakness would be very interesting for this horse. I think Preakness, he would kind of fit better. It'd be a little bit better for him as far as spacing and the easier kind of first major race for him. So yeah, we'll just kind of have to see how it goes, see if he gets in. But like I said, even if he gets in, he's a 20 hole. I don't know about that either. So I will say, we are on the screen. So we do have Travis Stone. So I think they're going to draw here in just a second. So I'll start to let you know once I see it. I've got the sound off, obviously, because I'm on air, but I do think we're getting ready to draw here. So.
And yeah, I mean, I do think, and Sheriff said today, and I posted it on our website, the press release from Kentucky, Churchill Downs, Kentucky Derby, kind of updates on every horse in the field. And he did kind of say like, hey, if we don't get in, we'll basically work out from here a little bit and then start planning for the Preakness. So
yeah,
I don't think the horse is going back to California. It is kind of the point. I think if it's either running the Derby, don't get in the Derby, then we're just going into plan B, which is the Preakness, which I'm with you. I would love to see happen. Not because I don't want him in the Derby. It's just I think he becomes very dangerous in a race like the Preakness. So
yeah, absolutely. I think, a couple extra weeks and get a horse that might be a little tired. Yeah, I think it would make a big difference. All right. They are drawing right now. It looks like they are drawing for the Kentucky Oaks. So I'll start reading them off to you as they come up. So Tenma has drawn the 9 post for the Kentucky Oaks.
All right, let me get this updated here.
I'll take this off here for you.
I got you.
There you go. Okay. So yeah, Tenma number 9.
Okay.
Number 5. It looks like Quick Kick, number 5. Quick Kick, number 5. We're taking our time here.
Hey. Gives me time to type it, so I appreciate it.
We've drawn one, and I think this is this Miss Kentucky? I didn't see that's hanging the signs. Yeah, it looks like Miss Kentucky. Take Charge, Milady, number 10. Take Charge, Milady.
Is anybody going to beat Good Cheer, though? That's the question.
Yeah, somebody's asking who's the favorite in the Kentucky Oaks. It will be Good Cheer. We're seeing here as Miss Kentucky has drawn another one here. Number 11 will be good segue. Good Cheer. Good Cheer will break from post 11, so the favorite will go from post 11. Jared, what are your thoughts? I mean, I think that's okay for her, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not. This is not a horse that necessarily needs to be on the lead or is on the lead, and I don't. I don't really ever get too overly concerned about the post positions in the Oaks.
Yeah, no, me neither. Sometimes if you're on the rail, it could be a little bit of a problem depending on your running style outside a little bit, but 11 for Good Cheer should be fine. All right, we've drawn another one here. It's number 12, and it looks like it's going to be Anna's Promise. Anna's Promise, number 12. So Anna's Promise. So the outside gates are kind of starting to fill up here. We don't have the too far outside, but we do have some outside gates filling up here for you. 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Anna's Promise. All
right, next horse up here, number 2. And number 2 will be Simply Joking. Simply Joking, number 2. Starting to pick it up just a little bit.
Simply Joking, the 9 horse currently on the list as I get into. It's really been Quiet Side, Lucara, Good Cheer. Those have really been your big 3 horses as we've gotten into. Ballerina Doro flashed a little bit there. Quiet Side I think is a little interesting as well.
Yeah, Quiet Side for sure. Here's an outside post. Jeez, what are you doing right now? The outside post number 14 goes to Quiet Side.
Dude, I just got to say a horse and then she draws them.
That's twice you've done that now, so that's pretty amazing. What a start. Maybe you should buy the betting Bible and just play his picks. It sounds like he's locked in right now.
What horse do you guys want me to mention next, and where do you want him?
All right, Quiet Side there to number 14, and we are waiting for the next one. We've got the next one drawn. Miss Kentucky looks like she's going to hang this one up. Number 13.
Jeez.
And that is going to be Bless the Broken. Bless the Broken, number 13.
Okay. So we got the whole outside taken care of here.
Yeah. So if your horse that you want to bet hasn't drawn yet, I think you'd be happy. Number one on the rail will be Early On.
Okay, Early On. Might need to go Early On here if they're going to have to get in and out of that first one spot.
So we got 3, 4, 7, and 8 left here for the Kentucky Oaks. Again, this is the Kentucky Oaks that will draw the Derby after this.
Who's the 6? Did I miss a 6?
I'm sorry, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's go here. The number 7, Lacara.
Okay.
That's a great post for Lacara.
Yep.
If you like Lacara, that is a great post. All right, 3, 4, 6, and 8 still to go.
Still looking for. Let's see, what is it? 5 Ballerina Doro, 5G.
Yeah, here we go. Miss Kentucky says the number 6 horse on the board will be, get your hat out of the way, will be Ballerina Dioro.
Dude, this is insane.
Ballerina Dioro going number 6. All right. Just a few left. 3, 4, and 8. It looks like left here. Great graphics here by Jared. No question about it.
Hey, it's pretty solid, right?
It's good. It's very good. Yep.
It's almost professional.
Very much so. Very much so. All right. 3, 4, and 8. Miss Kentucky heading over to the 8. And she is going to put, her hat is in the way. She's going to put 5G. 5G at number 8.
5G.
Yep.
Okay.
5G, number 8. That'll leave, not 5G, 5G.
Oh my God. Got it.
That'll leave 2 more. Number 3 is going to be, if you can get her hat out of the way here, going to be Fondly. Fondly, number 3. Not Fondle, Fondly.
That's usually after the end of the day. I go a little fondle.
Correct. All right, and then finally the number 4 horse. We're going to draw it. We'll make it official. I won't read it off until Miss Kentucky puts it on the board. There she goes. Now we got to get the hat out of the way here. Number 4 will be Drexel Hill, and a big gust of wind came and blew the numbers off the screen. At least one of them. Drexel Hill is the 4. Drexel Hill, the 4. And that's it. That's the field. I'll read your morning lines. I think they'll read those off now. Hopefully they put a graphic up with the morning lines because, again, I don't have the sound on, obviously. So we'll see.
So there you go. Not anything too, nothing that's too concerning. Quiet Side is a horse that I like a little bit. So the outside post is interesting, and with any speed, we'll need to get out of the 8 pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But Good Cheer is a horse that I've, even before the last start, I told you, I was like, this is the Oaks winner, and then after that, you're like, this is the Oaks winner, and it's kind of hard to go off of that,
Yeah. I mean, 6 for 6 lifetime. I do think Lacara is running very well right now, but I don't know what kind of price you'll get. 14 Quiet Side. That's probably not the greatest post, but Quiet Side's been a good filly as well. But they all have some catching up to do to Good Cheer. She's just been very good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe she can, make it 7 for 7 and be that next filly that we say, maybe you should take on the boys at some point,
Hey, Alterman, do you know what a good pick service is for the Oaks and the Derby?
Yeah, probably the channel you're listening to. We've been around for, I think, what is this, year 15, 14? We've produced 2 people, to one person to FanDuel, one person to VSiN. And the site is pretty much, not all revenue, but probably 80% of our revenue is from our picks. So that kind of tells you how long we've been in business. So,
and all you do is Google horse racing picks. And I'm not saying this just to say it, but we are the number 1 horse racing pick site, maybe in the world. So, and it's based off of the SEO and, what we've done and with the people we've produced. So I would say, Brandon, go to racingdudes.com.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in the chat, I think, that could vouch for that.
Well, and like you say, it's kind of how we keep it going. So keep the lights on, as they say. And if you know Curtis Callaward, he used to be called Magic, but now he works for FanDuel.
Curtis Callaward is a good friend of ours. Obviously, Mike Somich as well. Both guys started with us.
Yep. Mike Somich is still around. Yep.
Who? Yeah, exactly. Who you talking? I don't even. I don't. I like to not mention his name, but just the one who left us. But other than that,
And Bree chimes in. Bree's been a long time subscriber. So, she's very happy with it. Okay. here we go. Early on is 30. Do you want the odds or nah?
Yeah, give me the odds,
Okay,
bro.
okay. Early on is 30-1. Simply Joking 10-1. Fondly 30-1. Drexel Hill 30-1. Quick Kick 30-1. Ballerina Dioro 10-1. Lacara 6-1. 5G 12-1. Tenma 12-1. Take Charge Milady 12-1. Good Cheer 6-5.
Wow.
Yeah, that's short. And then Anna's Promise 30-1. Bless the Broken 30-1. Quiet Side 8-1.
Wow. So you've got literally 2 horses in underneath 10-1, other than, of course, the favorite.
Yep.
That's I mean, I knew this horse would be bet or would be a heavy favorite, but that's gonna. I think that's gonna get a lot of people playing money on other horses trying to beat her.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad they made a reasonable morning line where people are going to know, hey, she's going to be very, very short. Oh, by the way, Brandon, subscribe now. If you're subscribe to a monthly package, and you'll be entered to win $1,000 as well. So there's another thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Let me know if another tip sheet service out there is giving away $1,000 on Derby Day.
Yeah, good little promo there. We're it's on the website there. It's all you gotta do is be a premium subscriber. So what we do is, if you are a premium subscriber on the website, you get obviously all our premium picks throughout. We have monthly subscriptions, and all you do is you get all the premium picks. But if you are a premium subscriber, you also get our betting Bibles absolutely for free. So that if you subscribe, say today, you're getting our Derby and Oaks betting Bibles free. You're getting the previous betting Bible absolutely free. And then on Monday, on May 1st, we're going to randomly draw 20 people of our subscribers for a chance to win $1,000 on Derby Day. We're going to do an actual racing dudes Derby, kind of a randomizer with horses racing, and it's going to be 20 entries from our subscribers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's free, $1,000. Straight up cash. It's not like credit or gift cards to Olive Garden or anything like that. It's straight cash, and one of our subscribers is going to get it.
Yeah, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Say Nick saying I want $1,000. You got a chance, Nick, because you will be a subscriber when we draw. So we'll see.
Well, hey, yeah, Ron. It's like I said when we announced it. It's kind of like, well, you're basically spending $70 to win $1,000, and you might as well. You're betting 70 in the Derby, hoping to win $1,000, right? So I mean, it's about like playing the lottery, but hey. Yeah. It gives you a little something. Hey, it'd be sweet to hit something right through the beginning of the morning before the races even start on Saturday. So
Okay, let's go. We're doing the Kentucky Derby. We're getting ready to get it going here. It looks like they actually are drawing it. Get it up there, sir.
Oh shit!
I know. They went very, very fast here. Kentucky Derby. Here we go. The draw has begun. The first one will be number 18. And it will be Sovereignty. Sovereignty has drawn number 18.
Okay.
There we go. I love how quick they're doing this. This is great. We were kind of killing time because in the past we've had to kill time. So this is good.
That's
Sovereignty.
Not right.
Jared learning that Sovereignty is a very annoying name to spell, and I've spelled it maybe 5,000 times this year. So, and it's annoying every time.
You think I know it by now, but that is not true. I do not.
Okay, number 3 is Final Gambit. Final Gambit, number 3.
I think I got that name actually right, too. That's pretty impressive.
By the way, Sovereignty, I do not believe is spelled correctly.
What? So. Oh, so close. Just take the in out. Oh, no.
All right.
Way off.
It's one of those ones. It's annoying to type as well. Even when you get like, okay, I know how to spell it now. How does typing it is just annoying.
Dude, I think I'm fucking it up even worse.
Well, you're doing awful. Number 20. So number 20 is Owen Almighty. Owen Almighty, number 20. That looks good, Jared.
Thank you.
Owen Almighty gets number 20. Wow.
My computer crashed literally the week, yesterday, and so I'm using the laptop. So I have one screen open, so I can't even see the chat. So literally, all the people making fun of me, I have no idea.
There's not that many. All right, Owen Almighty, number 20.
Not that.
Boy, that's a really tough post for a horse that I don't think they wanted to run anyway. All right, here we go. Number 12. Number 12 coming up here now for you, Miss Kentucky, and it is East Avenue. East Avenue, number 12.
Yeah, with Owen Almighty, that's a terrible post because
That's a good post for East Avenue.
Yeah, I like that spot for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not concerned about the 18 for Sovereignty.
No.
Final Gambit, horse that's going to be coming late. But Owen Almighty's a horse that's going to need to get to the lead, and breaking from the 20 hole is not going to be ideal for that.
It's going to be tough. The rail has been drawn. The rail has been drawn. Breaking news. They drew it early this year, and it's Citizen Bull. So Bob Baffert's first horse back that gets drawn is Citizen Bull. He will break from the rail. That's hilarious.
Don't have to worry about him now.
Screw you, Bob. Churchill says that's rigged. That is so rigged.
Totally.
Churchill, one last laugh.
They're going to put Rodriguez at 2.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be hysterical. It's too bad. I mean, I don't really think Bob Baffert's has a Citizen Bull had much of a chance anyway. But anyway, all right, number 8's been drawn. A very perfect post usually, and the heavy favorite, Journalism, has drawn a perfect post. If you were sweating that one out, sweat no more. Journalism draws post 8, absolutely perfect post.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can draw that one up for sure.
Yeah, big sigh of relief for the people that love Journalism, and big groan for the people that might think, hey, he's pretty good, but I don't want to bet the favorite. So very good post. Should not, I mean, it's the Derby. Weird things can happen, but shouldn't have much of an excuse on paper from there. All right, back at it here. Our lovely assistant, Miss Kentucky. She's going to hang number 16 next, and number 16 will be Coal Battle. Coal Battle, 16.
My mom last night was she showed this video. And she's like, have you heard about this horse? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, it's this horse going to the Derby named Coal Battle. Like, Mom, do you know what I do for a living? I've heard of the horse. Yeah.
Your friend Ryan. Yes, the Golden Knights just won. All right. Your friend Ryan asked me if I knew who Patches O'Houlihan was yesterday. And I was like, well, you do know I work in racing. All right. Number 13. And maybe unlucky number 13, Publisher, draws number 13, and I am so happy that the Knights just won. 13.
How about OKC getting the sweep as well earlier?
Oh, it's been a perfect day for me. Yes, that was great as well. And my favorite freaking player, Ivan Barbashev, gets it done. Oh, my gosh, I'm excited. All right.
So what horse are you looking like? Are you kind of sweating out, right? I mean, like a horse like Rodriguez, where would you like for him to draw?
I think you want him to be in the middle, kind of like there with East Avenue, right around in there. By the way, in middle post number 10, Grande. Number 10, Grande.
Okay. I mean,
I'm gonna go put on my Ivan Barbashev jersey after that one. All right, let's keep going here. I have one for real. All right, let's keep going here. Let's get focused, Jared. Come on, get focused. It's a big thing. All right, here we go. Number 17, the post that has never won, goes to Sandman. Oh, the drama. Sandman, post 17.
And it still will never win.
Wow.
I said it.
So Sandman's going to do it. He needs a scratch to the inside.
He'll run 17 will run 3rd or 4th here.
Can Sandman break the curse? All right, number 14, we're moving right along here, and I do seriously really appreciate how fast they're going. 14 is Tiz-tastic. He'll break from 14. So Asmussen runners will be side by side there. Publisher at 13, Tiz-tastic at 14.
You like this horse a little bit.
I love this horse. That post is great.
So once again, a lot of these outside post positions are getting drawn here, which is pretty ideal, really. You'd like to, honestly, if you're Rodriguez, I think that 4 through 7 spot would be ideal.
And if you heard the crowd from Moore, Oklahoma right now, number 15 is Render Judgment. Render Judgment in the field. Toby Keith, Dream Walking Farm, will have a horse in the Kentucky Derby. It was a lifelong dream of Toby. Obviously, he passed away, but his name will be in the Kentucky Derby program. Render Judgment, number 15.
There you go. It's pretty cool.
Yes. Like I said, I'm sure there is a roar down south from us right now. Number 7 has drawn, and I missed it. Uh-oh. Number 7, Luxor Cafe. Luxor Cafe, number 7.
Luxor Cafe. The Japanese drawn from post 7. Not bad. I mean, I don't think that horse is necessarily going to be have any issues from there. So
number 9, getting ready to draw number 9 right now. And I missed it again. Please hold. And they may not show it. Oh, number 9, Burnham Square. Burnham Square, number 9. Yeah, good spot for both these horses. Burnham Square and Luxor Cafe.
Burnham Square had a nice workout this morning. People were going to raving about that one, I saw.
Yes, I heard that as well. Number 19 will be Chunk of Gold. Chunk of Gold, number 19.
Chunk of Gold.
All right.
That's one thing that will help Owen Almighty maybe a little bit with Sandman, Sovereignty, and Chunk of Gold, all horses that are going to be coming out, not really going to be pushing for the lead. Owen Almighty will maybe have a little bit of help when they break the gate.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. Yeah. He's going to get over a lot quicker than maybe he could have, for sure. Sorry, number 6, Admire Daytona. Admire Daytona.
Another Japanese horse.
Yeah, we got a lot of the middle ones saying, I mean, there's really, I guess number 2 wouldn't be the greatest for some horses, but there's not a lot of bad ones out there. Number 11 coming up here, Flying Mohawk. Flying Mohawk at number 11. Two, 4, and 5 left. 2, 4, and 5 left.
2, 4, and 5.
And a lot of people in the chat right now saying Rodriguez is totally going to be 2 in that.
I was gonna say that's 2 sitting there with Rodriguez.
Would be hysterical.
Number
5,
American Promise.
Yes, American Promise is number 5.
Oh wow, I did it again.
So the 2 and the 4 are next. The coach seems happy with number 5. He's smiling. Good to see the coach out.
So you got Neoquiz and Rodriguez. So I mean, 4 would be awesome for Rodriguez. I think 2 would be just funny.
The number 4 horse will be Rodriguez. Come on, Churchill. Why didn't you do it?
They dodged a bullet.
Number 4 for Rodriguez. Look, Jill's not happy. Jill's not happy.
She didn't like that?
No, she's frowning. But I don't know that her face can smile. I'm probably going to get sued for saying that. All right, number 2.
She's never happy, so.
Neoquist, the Florida bred, is in. All right, well, look, the chat's saying it. I'll go ahead and say it as well. Speed to the inside. 4 of the first 5 runners have speed, and some serious speed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, look, there's the field, guys. Finally.
Yeah, there it is. Takeaway, pace is going to be hot. Journalism drew great. Some of these closers are kind of the outside. I don't think that'll really bother him. I don't really think anybody just got crushed that was a contender from Sovereignty from 18. Maybe you don't want to be all the way out there, but if he's good enough, he can win from 18.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at this and think anyone got real punished by it.
Nope.
Obviously you don't want, Owen Almighty, but I wasn't I obviously didn't think it matter really to him. And then with Citizen Bull, if you're talking about the 2 Baffords, I was definitely more on Rodriguez, and that solidified right there. So I don't really think anything really changed for me.
No, me neither. Bree said, who won the draw? I mean, journalism. He got a perfect spot. Burnham Square. Hey, if he's doing unbelievably well, he got an unbelievable spot. Grande, very good spot for him. I'm talking about, contenders that we think have a chance. I think Tistastic at 14 is fine. A lot of people like Publisher. 13 should be fine. So I mean, there isn't really a lot of bad posts for like serious contenders. Sandman and Sovereignty out in 17 and 18. Again, you're going to have to cross over, but, it should be okay.
Did they officially announce Pieza as it also eligible?
They have not announced also eligibles. Let me get to the morning lines here real quick.
Okay.
And then, I don't have the sound up. They may have, but it's not on the graphic. Somebody asking, when did Tapan Street scratch? This morning. Tapan Street was not entered. Broken leg, non-life threatening, but broken leg during workout. All right, field of 20. They're getting ready to give us the morning line. What do you think? What do you think the morning line will be on journalism?
3-1.
I agree. I agree.
3-1's a number. He drew perfect. I don't think you can't knock anything off of it. I think he could have gotten to 7-2 or something, maybe if he drew poorly, but I think 3-1 is right on the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'd play him at 3-1, I think.
Yep. I think so too. Who do you think second choice? Do you think it'll be Sandman, Sovereignty? What do you think?
Second choice on the morning line or second choice at post time?
Morning line.
Yeah, maybe it might be. I think it might be Sandman. Honestly,
yeah.
I think Rodriguez will be like 8-1 ish. I could see Burnham Square being like 5-6-1, 7-1. I think Sovereignty will be that same price, and then Sandman I could see being like 5-1. I do think I would be surprised if anybody's lower than 5-1 other than journalism.
I would agree with that as well. It feels kind of balanced after that. There's a group from like, let's say you're 5-1 that you just said to 12-1 that you could kind of flip flop around. I
think Rodriguez. I'll just put I think Rodriguez, Luxor Cafe, Burnham Square, even Grande. East. No, I don't want to put East Avenue in there. Sandman and Sovereignty. I think all those horses are kind of just in a ball there. I think you can go a lot of different ways, especially as we get closer to post.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. And that's going to be the fascinating thing about the betting. And Shoddy's bringing up that the TikTok situation, his owner's very famous on TikTok. There could be millions of people betting on Sandman because of that. It'll be interesting to see, will these people just kind of be watching? Will these people just kind of ignore it because they don't really know what that is? Or will they actually show up and bet? We'll see what happens. He's got it millions of followers, but will they actually go bet the race, or will they just try to watch to have fun? I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. You got to, and I'm not downplaying it. You got to think a lot of money's coming in from there. It's just how much we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
They're still analyzing, probably waiting, give him a little bit of time to adjust now that the post positions are out. What I've kind of read or what I've heard is the morning line maker has an idea of the odds, and then he kind of gives him a couple of seconds to adjust with the posts. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, I would say. So it's going to be fun. I love that we kind of, with this draw, it's kind of confirmed this pace is going to be pretty lively. I hate when we're trying to guess that,
I'd say it's pretty safe at this point.
Mm-hmm. We're still talking and waiting here. If somebody, let's see if I can find if they did announce the also eligibles, because I believe California Burrito. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here's the morning line. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Citizen Bull 20-1. Neoquist 30-1. Final Gambit 30-1. Rodriguez 12-1. American Promise 30-1. Admire Daytona 30-1. Luxor Cafe 15-1. Journalism, and you guessed it correctly, 3-1. He is the favorite. Journalism 3-1. Burnham Square 12-1, Grande 20-1.
Wow.
And then we got a bunch of double digits here. Flying Mohawk 30-1, East Avenue 20-1, and they just put it off the screen. Damn it. Okay. Caitlin Free is interviewing a trainer, so they took it off the screen. I know that Sandman was 6-1 and Sovereignty was 5-1. I do know those two, and then after that, I'm not sure.
If someone posted it here.
Okay. So the second choice was, as you look it up there, second choice was Sovereignty 5-1. So yeah, that's kind of what we thought. So it'll be very interesting to see, if that holds up, if that's what we see once we actually get here. So or get to the post, render judgment there 30-1. So a bunch of 30-1 horses. They're very tentative to not make anybody over 30-1 because it's the Derby and everybody seems to take some sort of money. So there you go. Chunk of Gold 30-1, and then Owen Almighty. He should be the longest. He's 30-1. Okay.
So there you go. So yeah, 6-1 on Sandman, and Sovereignty, who did not win last prep race at 5-1, is technically your second choice in the race. That to me, I don't like. Because I had some interest in him. I was starting to grow more interest with him if he was sitting there at 10-1 or if he was 12-1. 5-1 is, I don't have a lot of interest in him at 5-1, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that. It's again though, will that horse actually be 5-1? Or will he float up a little bit? I think that's a question mark that's still around. If people bet the buyers, well, Rodriguez has a huge buyer last out. You got Bob Baffert, you got Mike Smith. He may go down. I'm not sure 12-1 is realistic on that horse. So there's going to be some adjusting, I think, for sure. But I do think that the morning line favorite being 3-1 will probably be accurate. I think Journalism will be 3-1 at post time. So
do you have any, we talk about a lot that 5-2 is kind of the number. It has been a lot of the years with kind of like the quote unquote deserving favorite. But I mean, is that the number for you? Like, are you willing to play him still, back him, a horse like him at 5-2?
Yeah, I am. At first glance at this thing, I think it sets up well. I think he's ready to go. The reports are really good at Churchill. Not that means just a whole lot. But look, I think he's been pretty darn good, and he should be the favorite. And I think going in, if you liked him, you had to expect that was the price it was going to be. That's kind of what we have been talking about, for 3 or 4 weeks, and nothing changed here with the draw or anything like that. So I think, if for whatever reason he goes lower, that's when you start to worry. But, if Justify wasn't lower, if American Pharaoh, Nyquist, if those horses weren't lower than 5-2, I don't think Journalism will be, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, looking at this, the horses that I have a lot of interest in, just based off the prices alone, would be Rodriguez, Luxor. Maybe Grande. I like it 20-1, a little bit. I'll be honest, guys. Final Gambit at 30-1, I have a little interest in at that price. I think that horse is sneaky. The way he's been training, maybe not to win, but underneath, I'm starting to kind of like him. Sandman, I can get on board with maybe at 6-1, but it'll be very interesting to see how Sandman and Sovereignty are bet, at those prices, because I feel like those are very much. I feel like that's a good baseline for Sandman, and which way is he going to go, up or down? I think Sovereignty's price is too low. Will it adjust? At that point, will Sandman be bet down to say 4-1 or 7-2, and Sovereignty go up to like 8-1? That will be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that as well. I think those are kind of going to be the pivotal horses underneath your favorite. That's we kind of understand. Okay, this is what the favorite's going to look like. But after that, those are going to be your two. I think Grande. There's a lot of people in the chat talking about Grande, and I'm with you as well. can Grande go under 20-1? Will he be more like 12-1? I think that is possible. Burnham Square after the work, and the Bluegrass horse always gets bet. He might get bet down a little bit as well. So those are the other two, plus the ones you just said that I agree with as well, that we could see those odds get crushed a little bit harder than what they are. And that will help people find a horse like Tistastic maybe that's 25-1 instead of 20, or Publish or somebody like that. So if one goes up, or excuse me, one goes down, one has to go up, right? That's the rules of the gambling here. So
how do I sign up for the premium? Just go to racingdudes.com, hit that button there on the homepage. It says Get Racing Dudes Premium. And you can scroll down there. You'll see the betting Bible available. You can purchase that individually, or you can just scroll down and see if you can. There's multiple different packages, starting off as low as $70 a month. That will get you all the way through. It's 30 days, obviously, starting when you buy it. So it'd be till May 26th, which would get you wrapped into the Preakness premium picks as well. So it's a great time, and you can't ask for a better time to be a premium subscriber because of the Triple Crown season. Who finishes last? Brett wants to know.
Well, I mean, Owen Almighty is the candidate for that, right? Like that is the horse that you would think, would be the quote unquote favorite to finish last because of what we saw him, how he faded going a mile and an eighth, and then he drew the 20. Does that kind of mean wide trip, very tired, just wrap him up? I think yes. So I think Owen Almighty is the pick to finish last. I mean, but what is he? Is he even money to finish last in your mind? Like, it seems.
Problem is like he might get himself in a pretty good position. How it kind of depends on how hard he can fall back, and can any of those can he still outlast maybe a few of these horses who just don't run? So yeah. He's probably the one, because I do think a lot of these are at least capable of going a mile and a quarter, whereas he definitely is not.
Yep. I mean, that's just it. That's just it. And can these slower horses going a mile and a quarter pass one that doesn't want to get the distance at all? It might be a little faster. There is a market for last. You kind of got to find it by the book. Like offshore is where you got to go for those kind of prop bets. But if you have an account like that, or you can find an offshore book, there is a market for last. Yes, every year they have that. They also have like matchups, like Citizen Bull versus Rodriguez, who will win the Bob Baffert matchup and stuff like that as well. So, and just little fun things you can look at there.
Michael, the Bible for the Oaks and Derby, it gets you all the picks for Oaks Day and Derby Day is $49.95. It is available right now. You can pay $70 a month. That gets you the premium subscription. That would also get you the Derby Betting Bible, Oaks Betting Bible, and the Preakness Betting Bible, all for free. So that, $20 more, you get basically 2 Bibles for the price of one. John White, who we'll have on the show Monday, he has his picks in there. We have AI picks that we run simulations for, and those are included for every single race on the card, Oaks and Derby. Halterman and I give you the exact bets that him and I are betting, as well as kind of a bankroll idea. Like, hey, we're betting 50 to win on this horse. I'm playing a $10 exact in this race. Here's how we're playing. Last year I gave out the Oaks Derby double, which of course was the McPeak double, which paid 118-1. That was listed in the betting Bible. So sometimes a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, and McPeak got it done for me last year, Alterman.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if you become a monthly subscriber, you will have a chance to win $1,000 as well. So you could definitely go buy the betting Bible, or you could just be a subscriber and have that chance. And what Jared said as well. Yeah, the Holy McPeak double, kind of, hey, this is a fun bet. Let's throw it in there. 118-1. I think that was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Somebody's asking who's going to be the highest odds, like who will go off with the highest odds.
Well, since we call it the Rich Strike effect, and really we haven't seen it come back to what we used to see before the Rich Strike, and meaning Rich Strike wanted insane odds, and since then people are not allowing these horses to go off at huge prices because of what we've seen, and especially in the Derby, it's just been in recent years we've seen a lot of upsets and a lot of kind of unpredictable things. So I don't think the prices will get too crazy high. I'd be surprised if anybody's above that 30-1 mark. Honestly, I think that 30 to 35. I wouldn't think anybody's over 40-1 because of no one wants to get beat. Because I'll be honest, like Owen Almighty winning would be surprising. There's a few in here that would be pretty surprising, but there's a good chunk of horses in here that if they won, you might be surprised, but you're also like, well, it's a Derby, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. People are saying, Flying Mohawk could be one, and I think that's possible. He is owned by, I think, isn't Jason Worth that owns that horse? So maybe that.
I think that horse will take some money because of that.
Yeah, maybe that keeps him from not being the. Yeah, Neoquist, I think, is a really good candidate. Neoquist. I think people will take some. Render judgment will take a little bit of sentimental money once they realize why that horse is in it. Yeah, so there's probably your best candidates for it.
I don't think I think he could, Michael. I don't, I think you got to make some decisions. You can't use them all, right? But he's a candidate. He's one of the, that's the thing. We talked about this on Blinkers Off, I think it was either this week or last week, and it's like there's so many horses that have the similar, going to close late kind of style. And you kind of have to go through, and obviously, and Chunk of Gold is one of those. And you kind of have to go through and make some executive decisions, and whether you're right or wrong, we'll find out next Saturday. But the bottom line is you got to kind of make some decisions like, hey, I think this horse, let's just say, for instance, Sandman's going to be too wide. Like, he's just going to be too weird. He's not going to be able to weave in and out of horses. I'm just going to bet him against him because of that reason. Or Chunk of Gold, I've seen what he can do. He got bounced around in that race, and he can still make his way through. And I kind of like that about it. Whatever it is, you're going to have to make some decisions because there's a good amount of horses and a good amount of speed that is going to set this thing up for at least it to be I'd say at the very least to be a very fairly ran race.
Yeah. I think you put it perfectly. I'm with you 100%. I think you're going to have to decide, okay, which one of these closers can navigate the settings of a Kentucky Derby, right? Like, and what I mean by that is who can kind of weave in and out of traffic, who can start and stop easy, and who, when they get stopped, they're not very quick at getting back. You know what I mean? So getting back into gear. So that's going to be the things with the Derby that's different from everything else. So you're going to have to make some decisions. And again, throw like a Chunk of Gold, Final Gambit, Publisher. Let's throw him in there. Tistastic. Like, you probably can't play all those horses. You're going to have to decide, okay, which one of these longer prices do I want, one or two? Which one of the more kind of logical, let's say, horses? Although I think those horses are logical as well. But you got to make decisions like that.
Amateur Alchemist loves the betting Bible. We appreciate that. BLK Money says did we ask if you think Basil will get in and can he win? I do still think it's about 50-50 that he gets in. We have a week now, and less than a week after with the also eligibles needing to be entered. But I wouldn't be necessarily, the way this has gone, I wouldn't be surprised to see one more horse, get a fever or whatever, something minor, but just being out of the race and him getting in. Which, again, as a reminder, let's say, just for instance, this is not true, but let's just say Neoquist scratched from the race. So everyone moves in one outside of him. So the 3 becomes a 2-hole, blah, blah, blah. So the 20-hole would Owen Almighty, he would move into the 19, and Bieza would be in the 20-hole, technically going off as number 21 on the form. And so if he does get in, he's still drawn outside. He's still has a lot. He's only won one race, and it was a maiden race. So, I mean, I still think he's got a ton to prove. I like him. I do not think can he win? Sure. Will he win? I don't think so.
No, I think that's the thing. If I'm with you, if you think, hey, can this horse get in the gate? I honestly think he'll still get in the gate. Like, I still believe somebody's going to scratch. He's going to draw in. But like I said, 50-50. But like you said, not being able to have a fair, quote unquote, fair post draw and having to be the far outside horse, it hurts his chances of winning the race. It doesn't totally squash him, but it hurts his chances big time.
Let's see. What are some other questions we have here? You know, Citizen Bull is a big horse. You know, he's kind of a tank the way he runs.
Mhm.
I could see him getting out of the gate and really hustling up there to try to make it at least get in a position. But it, having said that, I think he's going to help ensure that this pace is quick from the start.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think again with him, he really all he's ever done is go, and he's from the rail, so it's like just go. So he's going to go, and then like I said, Neoquist, all he's ever really done is go. And so then what's going to happen? You get the first two that are going to go, and you got Rodriguez and American Promise that should kind of just ease over to him as well. So yeah, I mean it's got a chance to be very hot. It's got a chance to be, I think if those horses like Owen Almighty, when he drew outside, it's like, ooh, that's going to be tough for him. That's going to be a lot tougher to press the pace. So if you had more horses to the outside that had speed, you might say, well, maybe it sets up for somebody. But the way this goes, unless Citizen Bull doesn't get out of the gate very well and there's some trouble there, it just projects to be pretty fast. Anytime you've got 4 or 5 horses that you think are going to go out to the front versus 2, let's say, that's when it could get fast. But, like we saw in the Arkansas Derby, it only takes 2 horses to go fast sometimes.
Do we have a jockey assignments yet? Do they list those?
They did not list them on the screen, but I'm sure we do, but they did not list those on the screen. You might be able to find them on Twitter, I imagine you would. I had a question text to me. If you want to look for those for a second, I had a text and quest me asking about what do you feel about Rodriguez now after the draw? Because obviously before the draw, this was a horse that you thought fairly highly of. I don't think for the Rodriguez draw is bad. I think here's his path to win it. Citizen Bull doesn't go / can't get out. Neoquist just is kind of not that horse that's going to go out there and really set the pace. And then all of a sudden, Rodriguez can outbreak the first 3, get to the rail, get the lead. And if he can clear / cut off the 1 and the 2, all of a sudden Rodriguez is in front. American Promise, the 5, I don't think will go to the lead with him. I think he'll just track him. And all of a sudden, Rodriguez does have a spot, right, where it's a shortest trip around and he's in the lead. Now, that's a lot that's got to happen.
Yeah.
But it's his path to winning the race is still not that unimaginable. I don't think it's that bad of a post for Rodriguez unless the 1, the 2 fly out there and now he's flying out there with them. Then it's big trouble.
It's if him and Citizen Bull can get out of the gate cleanly and just give me no final gamut, it's not going. I'm not really concerned about the 2. And just get out clean and get to the lead. Like then Baffert really could have his own way with like, all right, I got my 2 horses right there in the front. And then I can, we can figure out how, whether it be Citizen Bull or Rodriguez, but have them running, side by side basically and setting these fractions. You got to, with Owen Almighty drawn to the outside all the way, like you're like, all right, well, good luck. We're not worried about you. East Avenue, he drew well, so he'll have a factor as soon as they break from the gate as well. And in journalism, is a horse that he's not forwardly placed, but you'd like to see him get in a position that's good. All right, here's the jockey assignments.
Okay.
Citizen Bull as Garcia, Flavian's on Neoquist. Final Gambit, Machado, Rodriguez, Mike Smith, American Promise, Juarez, Daytona, Limery, Cafe, more area. I'm sure that's the Japanese rider. Journalism, Rispoli, Hernandez on Burnham Square, Velasquez, JV on Grande, Flying Mohawk, Ramos, Franco on East Avenue, Irad on Publisher, Tistastic, Rosario, Render Judgment, Le Peru, Vargas on Coal Battle, Jose Ortiz on Sandman, Alvarado on Sovereignty, Loveberry on Chunk of Gold, and Castellano on Owen Almighty. If Bieza were to get in, Pratt would then shift over to him, and then I don't know who would ride Neoquist. So there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be very interesting to see maybe Pratt begs him to scratch Nyoko so he can ride a Baeza there.
No Luis Saez. Yeah, no Luis Saez. So.
Yeah, no Saez, which is interesting. I think with Rodriguez, if he can kind of just beat the first 4 out of 5 there, then he is forcing at that point East Avenue to make a decision and Owen Almighty to make a decision. Do I'm going to run with him? Oh, he's out there in front. Should I just kind of track him? And then all of a sudden, it's that scenario where there's a Baffert on the lead with a length lead in the race going 46 and change, and you get a little worried, right? So
yeah.
So I do think there is a path, but I do think it is a harder path than I thought it was going to be 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so obviously the handicapping begins. The official handicapping begins now, right? Because we now have the post. There's no reasons, no excuses here, because now we know everybody's drawn. Is there anything that before we wrap it up, is there any? I mean, I kind of know the answer, but is there anything that happened here in the post where you're like, well, I kind of need to reevaluate that one a little bit, or are you kind of leaving this as all right, my thoughts are, I can still go forward with what I was thinking?
Yeah, I think for the most part, you still go forward like you were thinking. I think the only, thing that would change is now you're going to see all of them on the page for the first time together with their posts, with everything, all the data. So you definitely don't go, okay, let's go record the video right now. It might be a couple hours. You got to look at it a little bit before that comes out. But yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is make a Derby pace video where I will break down in depth more about what we talked about here. Then I'll kind of go to the Oaks and do that preview, and then dive in, make the decisions for the Derby. So that's kind of my process tonight as I go through this. So that being said, yeah, look, nothing here kind of really changes what I thought going in. It's to me now, it's just a matter of getting them there healthy, and then hope for racing luck. I mean, that's the thing. Get into the gate healthy. Hopefully they kind of behave themselves during all the hoopla, and then hope for luck when they draw or when they break.
Mike, so we will have John White on I don't know what annual this is now, but our annual John White podcast will be on Monday. He wanted to wait until the post positions were drawn. So some fun things that's going to happen on Monday. We're going to have him on, obviously, on Blinkers Off, talking Derby, mostly Derby. We might touch on the Oaks a little bit, but 90% Derby talk. But he also, his strike system. That's something that he does every year. That's going to be on racingdudes.com this year, the actual article. So we're going to release that right after, right during, I guess, the podcast. So the actual written article of his analysis of the strike system this year will be on the website at racingdudes.com as well. Then we will be, we haven't really honed in on it. I believe the plan will probably be Wednesday, Blinkers Off, talking Kentucky Oaks, and then perhaps Thursday, Kentucky Derby, Blinkers Off. That's kind of the plan right now in my head. We could do both on Wednesday. We'll hone that. Look for Wednesday, Thursday, talking Derby and Oaks for Blinkers Off. So a lot of action, a lot of videos. Obviously, Hawthorne have his Derby and Oaks preview videos on the website as well. So tons of content coming. Hey, there you go. L Vacation premium subscription. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Join L Vacation, because listen, just got entered to win $1,000 on Kentucky Derby Day, on top of getting the Derby and Oaks betting Bible for free and getting the Preakness betting Bible absolutely for free as well. So congratulations already on that, and hopefully your name gets drawn. And again, there's a video on the site. 20 of our subscribers are going to be drawn on May 1st, and then those 20 people will be randomly in a contest, basically a randomizer for the on Derby Day, $4,000.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's going to be super exciting. And by the way, when I was talking about Rodriguez, I didn't say Citizen Bull is not going to break. I said if Citizen Bull doesn't break well, all of a sudden Rodriguez has a chance. I was making a case for here's his best chance to win the race for Rodriguez. So I have no idea what horses will break or not break, and neither does anybody else. So
the fun slash frustrating thing about this game, and especially the Kentucky Derby, is a race can be over in a second.
Yeah.
For some of these horses, but sometimes a horse that everything I liked or I didn't like a Get for Forever Young last year happened. I didn't like him because I didn't think he could break well. I didn't think he would like the dirt and he would get dropped too far back and he wouldn't like getting bumped around. All that happened and he still almost won. So sometimes you just never know until they break from the gates. And other times, you have a horse like Tapit Trice who I thought broke perfectly. I was so pumped the way he broke, and then he just slowly faded back. So, we'll find out a lot. Who do you think? Last thing we'll say. Last thing, 'cause I'm pumped. I don't know if you guys are as excited as we are. I can tell by the chat that you are. They cross as they get to the first turn. It's obviously the roar of the crowd. That first run by the grandstands. They get past the finish the first time. They're getting into the turn. They have a ton of time to get those positions in place. Who are you expecting to see kind of in the front? Who's that first horse in the pack? And more, I think most, or as importantly, where do you think journalism kind of ultimately finds himself?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Bafferts and East Avenue out in front. And again, I'll have the full pace breakdown after I really look at it. But I kind of think, all things being equal, and they all break like we think they will, or they break normal. I think Citizen Bull, Rodriguez, East Avenue are up there in front. I do. And then I think journalism would be anywhere between like 5th and 9th. I don't think he'll be way out of it. I think he'll be up there, kind of within, unless they're just absolutely flying. I'd like to see him, in that area. If he's 19th, I'm not going to feel great. If he's 3rd, I'm not going to feel great. I want him in that middle, pack, whether it be the back of the front runners or the the back of like the stalkers or the front of the middle of the pack, just kind of right in there. I think that's the perfect spot. Because when you watch his races at Santa Anita, he breaks really sharp and he gets himself in position, and then they kind of calm him down and he'll lose a couple of links to the leaders, let them kind of tire out, and then he goes and gets them. So that's what he needs to do as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun race. I kind of envision like that lead group of horses, whichever ones make it there, whether it be I would assume Citizen Bull, and Rodriguez and East Avenue, Owen Almighty, some of those horses. Maybe American Promise is up there pretty close. And then that second pack, there's a little bit of gap, and then that first pack behind those horses, you got to think journalism is right there in that pack, whether it be the first horse, whether it be one in that group, but kind of stalking his position. That's one thing, the small field sizes has been something that's been talked about, and I think it's a deserving comment. But I think that last race did show he got as much education that race that you could want, right? Considering it was a small field, because he got kind of pinned in. They tried to pin him in. They bumped him around. He had to kind of stop back and hold back, get his stride going again, then rally and go. So again, it's not ideal. You'd rather him be in a bigger group, right, to kind of have that confidence. But having said that, I think he showed a lot that if things don't go perfectly in the Derby, he's still not going to just quit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I thought that was going to be a big worry coming into this because of the short fields, and then we got an education out of that, so that's great. Yeah, so I agree with everything you just said. And look, I think at the end of the day, drawing the 8-hole, you break really, really well. Like, let's just cross the fingers that he breaks well, and then you just kind of look at it and go, get your spot. You probably, if you break like we think you can, there's not a whole lot of horses that you're outside that are going to cross over on you. There's a couple. And then you just kind of sit the catbird seat. And if you're good enough, you're good enough. And that's, you never know if they're good enough until they turn for home and they get asked that question. Right. So, but I think that's the perfect kind of spot for journalism. And I just think they got to be smiling from ear to ear. And like I said, if he breaks well and gets positioning, there's not going to be any excuses for him.
All right, as we start to kind of wrap this up, guys, and close it down, hit in the chat here. I want everybody to give me your trifectas. What's your trifecta bet? Cold trifectas. I'm not interested in your in boxes and wheels. Give me a cold trifecta. Everybody list it in the chat here, and we'll see. We'll see some of these comments and see maybe who ultimately is right on Saturday. But yeah, final thoughts here. Ready to get into this, and I have a lot of thoughts obviously already, but I have a few horses and a few horses that I'm interested in and not interested in as much. Like Sovereignty is not a horse I'm necessarily against, but I'll be honest with you, if he would have gotten like 12-1 on the morning line, I would have thought for a while about using him on top. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we talked about that a lot. Because I went back and watched, Tepad Street and in that rate in the Florida Derby, and it's like maybe I was a little too hard on Sovereignty. I still think he should have won, but maybe Tepad Street is that good. And so I think I gave him a little more grace now than I should have then. But having said that, 5-1 is still just, he doesn't deserve to be 5-1. He needs to
it feels like a horse that won the Florida Derby should be 5-1.
Yes.
Not the horse that got second and got beat a couple links.
Yeah, exactly.
And whether you hate the race and hate the winner and love that he's going to run better, blah, 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 blah. 5-1 does feel a little short for a horse that just came off of a loss. Sorry. It didn't get stopped or didn't this or that or the other. Like he was 2 links behind the winner the whole way around, basically. It feels 5-1's a little short on him, but that doesn't mean he can't win. It just means I would want a better price on him. I'm with you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested in anybody in the chat that really, really likes Sovereignty and liked him going into the draw. Like, what price are you? I guess 5-1. Where are you willing to play him? Like I'm kind of curious. I'll probably still use him. I'll use him in some multis. I'll probably use him underneath. But I'm okay with at that price. We'll see though. You got to think there'll be a little adjustment on that. I think that's a little low. I could definitely see Sandman come post time being lower odds than Sovereignty.
Yeah, and so the comment here: several of the past Derby winners did not win their final preps. Yes, but they were priced that way. That's the point. I'm not saying he has no chance.
Exactly.
I'm saying it's pretty short, right? Like you think of the horses like a Mystic Dan, big price; Mage, big price; Rich Strike, big price. Mandaloon, he didn't. Or Medina Spirit, they were bigger prices than 5-1. Now there's also comments saying I don't think he'll be 5-1. Look, if he's 8-1, 9-1, okay, yeah, got it. That makes sense. But second choice, it's a little, I don't know,
And I have no idea the answer to this. So maybe it was like 2 years ago or something. I tried, off the top of my head, it seems unlikely that we've seen, like, when was the last time a horse was 5-1 or lower in the Kentucky Derby morning line and didn't win the last prep? Like that feels very uncommon.
They're probably out there. We're forgetting them,
yeah, for sure.
It just, I don't know. But look, at the end of the day, this is just a morning line, and they're wrong all the time. So he could be 10-1.
I'm 1,000% with Jared on this. If he's anywhere at 12-1 range, I'm going to be running to the windows, putting some money on him for sure. Because I still think he's a talented horse. So I guess therein lies the issue for me in a nutshell. It's like, what price am I willing to? Because I still like the horse. You don't want to just not use the horse because, well, I'd play him at 6-1, but I can't play him at 5-1. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful a little bit with how hard you are on him based on that. But I do think if I had to take a bet, and we do like to bet here at Racing Dudes, I think if you said which way are those odds going to go as they get closer to post, I would say they go up.
Yeah. Yeah. And somebody's asked this, these are the official morning lines for the Derby. So, we didn't make these up. These are the lines that came out. So, and again, we'll just have to see what happens. But my biggest thing where I have trouble just tossing Sovereignty or whatever is I have so much respect for his trainer, Bill Mott, and getting him to run big on the big days. And so that keeps crossing my mind of like, if that horse has it, Mott will get it out of him. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Dude, I mean, I can't help but think of Country House and
Yeah.
what the training job he
Yeah.
did with that one, and I think Sovereignty is light years better than Country House was.
Yes.
And he managed to get that horse. Now Pratt rode him brilliantly as well, but he managed to have that horse in a position and ready to run on that day when he hadn't ran that well prior to that. And so, yeah, I have a ton of respect for Bill Mott and the horse racing world. It just feels like he's due, right, to finally break. I mean, I know he won the Derby, but he didn't really win the Derby, right?
Right.
He's on the form as a winner, but you were there. He didn't necessarily cross the wire first, so in his mind that he wants that Derby win, the actual win.
Yeah. And the overall point of it is, whether he won or he didn't win or whatever, he got him to run a race that was much better than what he'd ever ran before, right? So even if he runs second and he's second that day, you go, wow, he was 65-1 and he ran unbelievable. He outran his odds huge there, and he did something that he had never done before, and that's what you were like. What if Sovereignty does that? Well, he's probably going to win, right? If he makes that kind of improvement, he's going to win.
I did check. Boltioro was 8-1 morning line, so it wasn't him. That was a good guess, but so yeah, I do think if I would have, I don't want to be. I wouldn't want to do the morning line. We'll ask John about it on Monday to get his opinion. Obviously, a guy that knows a thing or two about making the morning line, but maybe would have swapped Sandman and Sovereignty, because you got to think if Pan Street would have been in the race, he's probably 5-1. So that makes Sovereignty 8-1, maybe. Because if Sandman's 6-1 and Pan Street 5-1, let's just say that for argument. So you know what I mean? Like, because of the horse that beat him's in the race, his odds would have been 8-1, and he's not. So. We'll see. But all right, let's get to the handicapping, guys. Again, racingdudes.com. Go to racingdudes.com. I'll play the video before we head out of here. But the promotion for go get the betting Bible and go become a premium subscriber, and you get the betting Bible for the Kentucky Derby, you get the betting Bible for Kentucky Oaks, you get the Preakness betting Bible, and the chance to win $1,000 cash money on Derby Day. I don't know the time yet on Monday. It will be in the afternoon. I can tell you that. It will be anywhere between 11 to 3 p.m. Central Time. So we haven't kind of waiting for our talent to let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that'll be a fun one as well. And yeah, we will definitely thank you for just signing up, by the way, there, Brandon. I see there's been a couple, so thanks, guys, if you did. But yeah, it's good. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be very awesome. So, and look, I am excited to get going on it. I always, the last, week before, I'm like, let's just get the field so we can start working on this stuff. So that's the fun part.
Hey, everybody, get those subscriptions in. Let's go. We appreciate it. Obviously, I would say, let's tell the people here, Halton, while we have a solid audience, what would you expect the betting Bible, again, because we'll get emails. You go subscribe. You'll be the first to get it when available. Obviously, we just got the post positions here and the odds. We will start to hone in on the actual betting Bible. When do you expect the betting Bible to be released? Well, the first version of it, I should say, would probably be Wednesday.
I would think Wednesday for sure. If probably Tuesday night, Wednesday morning would be when the first version. Now, again, we will update it with scratches and stuff as we go and as we get those Friday and Saturday. But yes, I would say Wednesday will be available. I'm planning on getting it all finished up Tuesday and kind of editing Tuesday night, and then boom, let's put it up on Wednesday.
I like it. Yeah. And again, guys, just a big reminder. So the betting Bible is always available in your dashboard. You just go into your dashboard on the website at racingdudes.com and you download it. And my advice is to obviously be a subscriber and make sure that you are subscribed to the emails as well. So that way, when we do release an update, which is going to be typically every morning, especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, go back in and download it, because it will be the most updated version. We will always have updates. Obviously, it's tough to know. You can only do so much. That's why we have to wait till now to even get started officially on it, because you can't really handicap. We'll have people email us 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where are the picks? Well, we don't even know who's in the race yet. So, it's you got to. one of the issues with horse racing is you don't know the information until basically right as soon as it's about ready to go, it feels like. So,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. I can't help it. I keep wanting to ask you questions, and I want the chat to answer questions because I'm psyched up here. Give me a horse give me one of these 20-1 plus horses. Give me one of these 20-1 plus horses that you're super interested in, and you can't say Tistastic because I know you like that horse.
Well, then why would you ask me then?
I want another one.
The horse.
Because I want to know. Everyone knows you like that horse. Give me another one.
I love Tistastic quite a bit. Look, yeah, I think Grande would be the other one at 20. If you're giving me 21 or higher, I would go Grande. He would be the second one because I just think he's projecting towards the right path. He's getting better. He ran a pretty decent race in the Wood. He's got very good connections, and he has a right to get better. He'll love the distance of 1.25 miles. I just think the 10 draw probably ensures that he's not going to be super wide. He can sit the trip. It'd have to be Grande for me.
Yeah, I like Grande too. I don't think 21 is what price we're going to get. Because I think the hype is there with him a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do, if you're just saying based on the money line, I think that's a really solid horse. He was so wide in the race. Although having said that, I wasn't like, I think he's got a shot. I'll put it that way. I'm not like jumping to the windows to go bet him, but I think 20-1 I would be. Final Gambit for me at 30-1 is a horse. Again, I kind of mentioned that earlier. I just, I just think this horse might really enjoy going this long. And if this thing kind of falls apart, he could be a horse that is making some moves and maybe could hit the board at a big price. So Final Gambit is a horse for me that I think is going to get very little action. Honestly, I don't see him going down too much just because there's so many other options. And, obviously for good reason, let's be honest. Right. So, but that's a horse at big price that I'll be interested in. Coal Battle, 30-1. I mean, Coal Battle, I think at 30-1 is fair price for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't. I can't get there with them. Tiz is my horse. For a long shot, but I can't get there with Coal Battle. But I wouldn't be shocked if he runs well.
Yeah, Brandon, you got two guys here that knew Toby, no friends of Toby now. We've met Toby many times. We actually got to see him live in a private concert one time at Oaklawn and at a bar where we were totally trashed. It was literally like top 5 moment of our lives. Literally just imagine like a podunk kind of low key bar and Toby Keith is playing in it. Yeah. In the middle of Hot Springs, and it was like not packed at all. It was just it was amazing. Anyway, so yeah. Having said that, we're totally on Toby, and so we're pumped that he's in the race and Render to be. I mean, what a story it'd be! Just if nothing else, give him a shot. Imagine turning for home and he's kind of got it. Just to give the owners something to root for.
Yeah, it would. If that horse won, I wouldn't care that I'm going to lose every single bet because I would lose every single bet if Render Judgment wins, and I would probably be in tears, and that's for real because that would just be incredible if it happened. But hey, they're in the race; they're happy to be in the race, and it's been a dream. It was a dream of his. Is this what I've been told anyway? It was a dream of his to run in the Kentucky Derby, and he was close a couple times. He never got the horse, and then the first Kentucky Derby where Toby's not with us anymore. Here he is. He's Dream Walking Farms in the Derby. So, I mean, that's he can't make that up. That's crazy.
Who will out finish if he had a head-to-head bet against Luxor Cafe and let's go Burnham Square.
Whew.
Luxor Cafe, but very similar prices, 12-1 and 15-1. Who would you?
Why don't I throw in the two toughest ones? Give me Burnham Square.
Oh man, you really do hate Luxor Cafe?
I don't hate him, but I just I think with the Japanese horses, it's going to be all or nothing type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'd get Luxor at that. I think Burnham Square is a nice horse. I think he's too slow, but Luxor could be too slow too. We don't know. We really don't know. Like visually, he looks good.
Yeah,
but we'll find out. But
yeah.
All right, guys. I hate to wrap it up. I mean, it's just going crazy in here right now. But we got to get going on the handicapping, and obviously let you guys get into the handicapping as well. Again, go to the website at racingdudes.com where you can find all our Derby information. We've got already have videos out there on all the contenders, which obviously are already in this race now, but prior to the draw, we've got videos for every single horse that was possibly entered. We've got analysis for the betting Bible and information on that. Really anything you need. We have multiple podcasts that we've talked about going up into this. You can find us on Twitter at race_dudes, Instagram and Facebook to kind of follow along with all the content we have coming out. Blinkers Off, the podcast version is on our podcast page or Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are there. And again, go get the betting Bible. I'm going to play the betting Bible promo here as we close this thing up. So yeah, join the Discord as well. We got a good community in the Discord, always talking about the random, and I'm sure it's popping right now, although I try to stay off of it as much as I possibly can.
I deleted it, but go you go download it.
I love the community. I just can't it's too much going on. Like we got too much going on, and I can't keep up with, like when you're chat in your text messages, like you look at your alerts and you've got like 62 messages and you're like, oh, it's too stressful, I can't. And then you're like, you go to Discord and you're like, I don't even know where to start. There's so many conversations happening right here.
Yeah.
I basically will reply. My name gets tagged and then I'll respond. But but there you go. So all right. Any final thoughts before you leave the peeps here?
No, I don't. Stay tuned to the channel if you like this stuff. We're gonna have a lot of videos coming out. I'll do most of them tonight. I probably have most of them out tonight because that's a good thing. I'm hyped. I'm ready. It's like, oh, let's do some videos. That sounds good to me. So I'll probably be up late doing vids. So stay tuned to the channel. We'll have stuff coming up for you guys, and not only tonight, obviously, but all week long. So can't wait. Everybody enjoy it. It's the best week of the year, and it's gonna be great.
We are officially worldwide. Brian is in Iraq.
That's amazing. Well, hello from that's amazing. That's awesome.
Hey, Brian. Thanks, buddy. I don't even that's crazy. So all right. Yeah, appreciate you, and shout out to you. So all right, guys, until next time, I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Haltzman. Here's a promo for the betting Bible. For more information, head on over to the website to go get your copy or become a premium subscriber. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Preps are over, and we are all set for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks over here at racingdudes.com. Get the Racing Dudes 2025 Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks betting Bible featuring race-by-race wagering plans for the Oaks and Derby days on May 2nd and 3rd at Churchill Downs. That is available right now over at our shop at racingdudes.com. Last year's betting Bible correctly predicted the Oaks Derby double, of course, the McPeak double that we call it, that paid an insane 118-1. What's inside this thing, guys? Race-by-race wagering plans with the exact bet and wagering amounts for every race on Oaks and Derby Day. You'll also get multi-race plays for both days, including pick 5s, pick 4s, pick 3s, daily doubles, everything you want in order to help cash big tickets. We have pace projections, AI top 4 picks that uses 10,000 simulations for each race are also included within each day of the betting Bible. And of course, the legend John White is going to offer his picks, not just for the Oaks and the Derby, but for every race on Oaks and Derby Day. This is available in the shop right now, the 2-day package for $49.95. But if you subscribe to Racing Dudes Premium, you will get all betting Bibles absolutely for free. Those start as low as $70 a month. With this, the timing of this, you have the Derby and Oaks, and you've got the Preakness falling in that first month. If you were to go that subscription route, $70 would get you both of those betting Bibles. Who will we pick to win the Kentucky Derby? Get your limited edition copy today and see.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Blinkers Off. Join our horse racing community at racingdudes.com and follow us on Twitter at racing_dudes. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.